Thank you for joining us today for Music Marvels with Achickwitbeatz and Breezy Gipson. I am music producer Achickwitbeatz.
And I am entrepreneur Breezy Gipson.
And we're delighted that you're with us. We've got another great show lined up today. Tons and tons of good music news and stuff that you can use to kind of help you build and guide you along your career. And we have Daneja Mentale dropping by with an interview with him. And of course, some beats by yours truly sprinkled in throughout. So I'm excited to do this. How about you?
Oh yeah, man. It's a Daneja day. It's a Daneja day.
All right. So, okay, just stick around and we'll be right back after this.
Yeah.
Thank you for tuning in to Music Marvels with Achickwitbeatz and Breezy Gipson. It is that time for the interview. We have a very, very talented creator in multiple ways. And so I'm thrilled to announce that we have the one, the only Daneja Mentale in the virtual building with us, aka Bad Joby. How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling great.
Great. So, just real quick, if you could break down, who is Daneja Mentale? When did you discover that you needed music to be a part of your life, and all that good stuff?
As far as the music, it's been a part of my life. It's in my bloodstream. My mother, she's a piano player. My dad, he was a big music collector. So it was just already in me. As far as Daneja Mentale, I went by another name when I was in high school. Back in the days, everybody had that MC tag right before their name. So I was MC Joby D, and So later on, I became Daneja Mentale, which is another way of saying dangerous mentality. So, and that's how I ended up coming with that name.
Okay. So, just for a little bit of background, I guess, when you say danger mentality, is it just because you see the world a little bit differently? Like, is it, can you break that down for us a little bit?
I'm very influenced by groups like Public Enemy, NWA, Ghetto Boys. So they speak a lot of truth in their music. And around the time I started to change my tone in my music, I was very influenced by them, and I see, like I said, see the world differently, and you want to educate, you want to entertain, and plus another influences Boogie Down Productions. So a lot of my music is surrounded by a lot of the social commentary.
Okay, yeah, that's what's up. So you named a lot of greats from the golden era. So could you where are you from, and how has where you're from affected your music?
I'm from Phoenix City, Alabama. I was raised in Hurstboro, Alabama, which is a small town outside of it. A lot of the music down here was mostly bass music from Miami or Atlanta, but I grew up on a lot of East Coast music, listening to a lot of the rap shows that we could get access to at the time, because when I was coming up, we didn't have a lot of rap played on the radio. So every Saturday, there was this show called Wrap It Up, and I used to just get all of my music from there. And so I was like heavily influenced by a lot of East Coast as well.
Yeah, that's interesting that you say that. So with me being from Michigan, Kalamazoo, halfway between Detroit and Chicago, you would think that it would just be a lot of Midwest stuff, but those exact same places were what I grew up listening to too. So, the East Coast, the Miami bass, all that, it's kind of funny how what you listen to and how that affects you and what you create.
Yes, and with the Southern bass music, I was influenced to make electronica music as well. As much as I would do hip hop, I would also do the electronica. So I have another pseudonym that I would go by when I do my electronica music, and that is Quad Control Station. Yeah,
that's what's up. You don't really run into that as much as you used to anymore, because back in the day, hip hop and house electronic music was all kind of synonymous. So people would have albums, but you'd have those house tracks or whatever on there as well. And I kind of wish we could get more of that. But yeah, sorry, you brought up some stuff. I'm reminiscing. What'd you say?
It's coming. It's on the way.
Yeah, that's what's up. This is all good stuff, isn't it, Breezy?
Yeah. And see, it was only about 5 months ago or so that I was in Phoenix City dealing with a tractor trailer type of issue. I can't really tell you where I was because I wasn't prepared to bring that info in right now. But I just know I was on ended up at a semi type of a truck stop with a store out front and a gas pump named Marathon. That's all I can remember.
Yes, the truck stop. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. but man, the people were just they were really nice. The people that I had conversations with that day, and on the way out and stuff while I was leaving, it's a warm type of thing, man. So I got a whole lot of love for Phoenix City, Alabama, man, and so to hear that that's where you're from, to me that's a great thing.
Appreciate that.
Yeah. So you had mentioned like having a pseudonym to be able to do both things. How has that suited you so well? So I've ventured into house quite a bit as well. And initially, before releasing my first track, the label had asked me like, "Hey, do you want to do this under another name so people don't get confused?" I'm like, "Well, no." But I noticed that people did kind of get confused after a while. So yeah, what are some of the benefits you would say that you've seen from having the other personality, if you will?
Honestly, with the electronic music, I fared better than the hip hop. And it's crazy because I kept that as a secret for a long time, because when people associated Daneja Mentale with music, it was basically hip hop. It was never the thought of electronic music. So I started Quad Control Station probably a little over 20 years ago, and I was just making these bass CDs just for people to test out their system and whatnot. And a friend of mine had told some other people about it, and at the time I was also working at a record store, so I was selling a lot of these CDs out of there, but nobody knew it was me until one particular day. A coworker told another former coworker about it, and he was about to buy this CD, and he was like, "Nah, I'm gonna get it next week." I'm like, "Okay, I'm just gonna keep that as a secret. Nobody knows it's me, so let's see how it works out." And for a long time, I got a lot of sales from people who did not know it was me.
Well, I got some input on that right there. To me, that is a success story because, you were able to crack that code, get in there, establish a niche, or some people call it niche, of your own, which, see, that was starting to manifest into something that was glorious. Okay. So,
right.
you kind of double, you got like a double trouble thing going in one direction, you got this, going in another direction, you got that, and there's a whole lot of people out there that can't claim that. See, they're going in one direction and you're going in two, which is double the pleasure, double the opportunity, double the exposure, and that's a strong niche. So my hats off to you for that right there. I mean, that's strong.
And later on, when I started to do these, the rest of these bass albums, a friend of mine in Moscow has a website strictly hip hop, and when he placed one of my albums on his site, he let everybody know that it was me, and I was like, "Oh man, not again," But it fared out a whole lot better, because then it opened up a door for more listeners, and I gotta thank him for that, because it really, if it hadn't been for that, and with the digital age, there's no telling.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
A few years back, I ran into some folks from Russia. I can't say whether they were hailing from Moscow or not. However, they were basketball jersey down. They were Michael Jordan sneakers down. They were the baseball cap. And I'm like, oh, wait a minute, this is Russia? And it turned out, yes, it was. So, real
and they are very big supporters of hip hop.
Yes,
very big.
Yeah.
So that helped out a whole lot.
Yeah. See, this is a success story. The more you keep speaking, the more goodness is flowing.
Yeah. So
no doubt.
Yeah. So, with you being able to touch the different genres and everything, can you tell us a little bit about what your creative process looks like? Like, how do you get into a zone? Do you get to decide what you create, or do you just let it do its thing?
I do a lot of crate digging, and a lot of times I'll just, I'll find something random, and I'll bring a lot of these records home and probably won't listen to them for months. And one day I might just get into that zone and start playing something. I hear something and I just start creating. And sometimes I will have patterns in my computer for months, and then I'll go back to them and finish them up. Okay. So it's like a lot of times I have to be in most cases I have to be real busy, because the busier that I am, the more I can think on something to take me away from what's keeping me so distracted with everything else. And it just gives me the time to work on something when I come home.
That's an interesting process. Man, I wish I could.
Well, I call that busy is as busy is, because to me, you get in that flow where you're tied up in a lot of in multi directions. Then see those creative juices start, they're flowing too. Okay, so if it was the opposite, where you're just sitting on a sofa, twiddling your thumbs,
right.
Hey, that creativity is low.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like you're thinking too hard on trying to create something. And a lot of times I'm at my job, I may be on the passenger side of the company vehicle, and I'm writing something in my notepad on my phone. I could come up with something better because I'm blocking out everything else for the moment, rather than come home and say, I'm just gonna go in here and write something, because it takes me a long time to get behind the microphone now compared to what it was when years ago.
Yeah, I wish I could remember the exact quote, but it's something like inspiration will come, but it has to find you working.
Yeah.
So, that's pretty dope. So since you've been doing this, like you mentioned, it's been over 20 years. What's the most important lesson that you've learned since you've been involved in the industry?
One of the things I've learned is don't worry about who is not supporting you. Focus on those who really are supporting you. The ones who support you are not even your friends. They're not your family. And I don't say that in a disrespectful way. But a lot of times we spend time trying to please others that know us personally, rather than spread the word to those who don't know us, because those are the ones that are actually going to go out there and buy the music. They're the ones that are going to share the music or anything else that you do. So I don't focus so much on trying to gain some type of hometown glory. I just make it for those who understand it. Whether I sell 1, 2, 3, it's sold to someone who enjoys what I do. And that means a lot.
Man, that's so important. I need the air horn right there, right, Breezy? Like, underline what he said, because so many people, like you said, do kind of focus on who's not doing stuff. But yeah, that's a great point right there.
It is. I agree.
Yeah. So, everybody has their gifts and their talents for a reason. And, so anytime you use them, that means that there's somebody out there that needs that. So yeah, why focus on somebody that's not aware of it? Yeah, just focus on who it's actually made for. Find your people. Yeah.
Right. Because for a long time, I worried about it, and that put me in that low place. And then when I got to the point, I said, "What the heck with all that?" I'm just gonna put it out there, and then when people started noticing it, it's okay. I'm good. Now I know somebody's paying attention.
Yeah, that's such a good thing to become aware of that, because a lot of people don't actually get there. I mean, you see it on social media all the time.
All the time.
Yeah. So.
And then on the B side of that, each and every day, night, whatever, we have a lot of people that just watch. Okay, they don't say anything, but they're constantly watching.
Right.
And then you that's hard to judge support sometimes, because all of these folks, they're just watching and they don't step forward. And then when somebody does, you're like, oh, but then you still have to maintain that thought of, no matter what you're doing or where you go or what you're working on, or there's just always some eyes or ears. And, people keep up. They keep up.
I like to call them closet supporters. So they see you, they watching, they enjoying it. They just haven't said anything.
Yeah, you can get out there on the media and say, hey, what do y'all think about this? And get zero response. Okay. But they heard it though. They see you.
Yeah. Straight crickets.
Right. But then you get your stats back and find out who's been listening or who's been watching, and so
notifications pop up out everywhere.
Yeah.
Well, you sound like a man of many memes. You sound like a man who has gone through the ABCs of it, the XYZs of it. You experienced this, experienced that. And as I touched on earlier, you had the niche where you're going two different directions, which, a whole lot of people don't get that opportunity, or they don't have that capability of creating like that. So, I'm feeling some really, really strong energy from what you've said and the way you're carrying yourself, and from what the direction that you're pointing yourself as to follow. So, kudos to you, because there's some good stuff.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. So, as we're looking at the time, kind of winding down here, could you tell us, what's next up for you? What's in the works? And I just also want to thank you for sharing your secret with us about you and your aliases. But yeah, what's up next?
Right now, I just released a Choir Control Station album back on Christmas Eve. It's entitled Bass Expo 2021. The saga continues. I'm in the process of working with a few other artists, an artist by the name of Lu Chin Chin. I'm working on a few other compilations of remixes and unreleased material. Like I said, it's been a while since I really just got behind the mic for myself, but I still have a lot of unreleased material that I just wanted to go back and just touch upon and put it out there. So that's pretty much it at the moment.
Okay, dopeness. Yeah. So yeah, we want to make sure that everybody checks what you got out already, and so let people know where they can find you. Drop all your socials, how they can check out your music and keep in touch, and make sure that they are aware of every drop you got coming up.
And purchase.
And with A lot of the music, you can find it on Bandcamp. I'm on a lot of the digital music sites, Spotify, Apple Music. I think there's something on TikTok, not sure. But on most of the digital streaming sites I'm on, but you can find me under Daneja Mentale, or you can find me under Quad Control Station.
All right. Can you spell Daneja Mentale for them? Just make sure you got your pencils out.
All right. It is DANEJAMENTALE.
All right. And so, you heard him. Make sure that you check him out everywhere that he said. Show him support. Don't be a closet supporter. It's like, hey, you got some good
Bring
stuff.
on the love.
Let him know.
Bring on the love.
Yeah.
I appreciate it all.
All right. Yeah. So before you head out, I'm going to toss it over to Breezy. If he has any closing thoughts, but is there anything that you wanted to share with us that we didn't get to so far?
I think we covered quite a bit, and I just want to say thank you for the opportunity. I appreciate y'all having me on the show.
Oh, we thank you for coming.
So,
Reese?
Well, to me, it still boils all the way back down to the Phoenix City, Alabama flavor. Okay, and hey, everybody can't claim that area. Everybody can't claim that city. So,
right.
See, that's special in itself. Okay, and so I personally, like I said, I've been there before. I got a feel for the people there, and so if that's where you're from, then hey, it's all right with me. So, but just keep it on. Oh yeah. So keep doing what you're doing, man, and just keep the flow going.
Will do.
Yes, sir.
So thank you for joining us, and we look forward to having you back again sometime in the future.
I'll be ready.
Awesome. All right, it was really great to have him on. It's always nice when somebody can take the time and share their experiences and stories and wisdom, because we can all learn a lot from each other. We all have different experiences that we can, just kind of pull from, and we never know how it actually helps someone else. So anytime we have, wonderful guests like that come through to share, I'm always grateful.
Yeah, it's about uplifting communities with an S. Okay, not just one community, but many of them. Okay, and so he did the job, and that's the great thing.
Yes. All right, we're going to take a quick pause for the cause, and we'll be back with music industry news right after this.
I'd like to begin with a fact. Whether in a small town like McAllen in the Rio Grande, or in Chicago, New York, or Los Angeles, it is business. Big business.
Okay, we're back with music industry news. Man, all right, so this is some big stuff. I'm pretty sure you should have heard about it by now, but if not, we're here to fill you in. But I've heard it pronounced a couple of different ways, so I'm not exactly sure, but either melodity or melodity is a new Web3 ecosystem for the music industry to help artists unleash their creativity. And so they have opportunities for play to earn, listen to earn, NFTs. And of course, everybody's talking about the metaverse, so they've got that included too. So basically they're trying to build an ecosystem that consists of all these things. And so, music artists can benefit, people who love music can benefit. And so they're doing it through 3 different integrated platforms so far. It sounds like there may be some more on the way, but the 3 of them are Do Meta, Do Duet, and Do Mert. So Do Meta is a music-oriented metaverse for interaction and live events. So, of course, if you're an artist, that lets you, kind of tap into another way to connect with your fans, or maybe even generate new ones. There's Do Duet, which is the user-friendly contest platform. So it kind of gamifies the music and rewards participants who listen to tracks and vote. And then finally Dumart, which is the NFT marketplace. So it's going to provide music distribution, licensing, and of course, if you want to get into the NFT game or spin into it, they're going to offer that as well. So, I mean, I'm just awed at all the possibilities. And, right now they've got it in the private sector to where if you're actually interested in getting in on the ground floor and investing, that's also an option for you as well. And they're also looking for partners. So, I mean, just tons of information just in this headline alone. So I don't know if you can tell how excited I am. Am I doing a good job kind of trying to contain it a little bit? I don't think so.
Yeah, you're containing a little bit. Just a little bit.
Yeah, it was just so many possibilities.
Well, when you mention the word possibilities, I mean, that's a wide word, man, because, it's a great opportunity for a lot of different folks on a lot of different levels. So inspect it very closely, and maybe there's a level in there for you or you over there, and just check it out.
Yes. All right. And so Cutting Edge Music Holdings and Blantyre Capital have teamed up to acquire music publishing rights owned by film and TV composers for $125 million. So apparently, 1/3 has already been used to get some catalogs. They haven't named anybody specifically, but there's titles that have been a part of so many networks: Fox, FX, ABC, CBS, Disney, Paramount. I mean, the list just goes on. We'll be naming stuff forever, but great opportunity for composers, especially if you're a songwriter and you've had a placement, to know that there's other people looking to kind of grab some of that money, the same way that we've been seeing these labels and stuff purchase some of the rights back from legacy artists. So yeah, once again, more possibilities there.
Well, I got a question about that. Inevitably it's going to pop up. Now, when they make those deals to buy all the rights, do those original artists, do they actually get to keep a copy, or that's gone too, and they're left with, they got the money, but they got nothing? I mean, if that company decides to trash or push a button on that material, then it's just gone forever, right? Or is it?
Now, that's a great question. And so, typically when we share these stories, people just focus in on the fact that the rights have been sold, but not all of them sell everything. So some of them have kind of held back a little bit to where maybe they've given a percentage back to the label, or a percentage of maybe not publishing rights, but the mechanical rights or things like that. So they've actually been able to stipulate in these deals that they're taking what they're comfortable with. Or, for those who have sold their entire catalog, like we've seen that a lot lately too, they've gotten so much money for it that I think that they feel like they're kind of done with it anyway. So they don't really care what happens. So yeah, I mean, that's a great point to bring up, because it's definitely something that you need to be aware of. So, we stress, I know I'm really serious about independent artistry, but for those people who've already been through it, they've went through having the label own their stuff, they've gotten their masters back, they've held on to it, gained money for it for, a considerable amount of time. Because if you look at where most of these artists are in their career, they've had time to kind of recoup a lot of that stuff. And so basically they're just kind of giving it back in this later stage in their career. And so yeah, that's a good point to bring up. And just, I wouldn't recommend anything like that for somebody just kind of starting out, because then, you're doing all this work to get it back. And then, later you're just like, oh, never mind, you can have it back. But yeah, hold on to it for as long as you can, so that way when you do get to a point to where you know what, I accomplished everything that I wanted to, and yeah, I'll go ahead and take this $250 million. And yeah, you can have these rights for that. So yeah, just something to keep in mind. But yeah, I'm really glad you brought that up.
Yeah, well, the case in point would be like a variant of the Taylor Swift situation. Okay, just a variant of that situation. Okay, well, there could be a little twist to that, with somebody else, and the person ends up making a deal, and then but all of their music is gone. But then on the other end, maybe some people get angry or upset, and they push a button and they just delete all of that music. And hey, and the person wasn't able to keep any of it before the deal, and that's just something to think about. Yeah. Because an artist can actually get erased off the face of the earth because there's nothing left. Mm-hmm. If it falls into the hands that change their mind after the fact and become dissatisfied with something, and they push a button, delete everything, and then it's off the face of the earth forever.
Yeah, so that's another thing about living in the digital age. With physical copies, that's a lot harder to do. But the bottom line: own your masters, own as much of your publishing as you possibly can. That way, the choice is actually yours, whether you choose to hold on to it or turn it over.
Yeah, gotcha.
All right, and this is just thrilling to me. As artists have a tendency to kind of deal with a lot of things. I mean, that's typically why artists are creative, because you see the world differently. And sometimes, that's a great thing. Other times it makes you more sensitive and susceptible to different things that can challenge your mental health. So Chicago's Coffee, Hip Hop, and Mental Health is helping people access therapy no matter their circumstance. So, they're using money from coffee merchandise sales. They've got shirts and all this good stuff. They're taking donations and grants to help people pay to see therapists through what they're calling Normalized Therapy University. So, that's a great opportunity. I think what they're doing is wonderful. I have a lot of friends in the mental health field, and, I've had some people reach out to me saying that they were thinking about trying to start a chapter in their various locations. And so, spreading the word, one, because therapy is important, mental health is important. And, so either if you're in a situation where you can take advantage of that, then, we want to share it to make sure that you're aware that it's there. Or if you're in a situation where you can make something like that happen where you are, it's a great opportunity to kind of look into it. It's okay to not be okay, and it's okay to get help. So, shout out to Chicago's Coffee, Hip Hop, and Mental Health.
Oh, yeah. Proper, very proper.
Mm-hmm. All right, man. Speaking of other good things, a Louisville music store called Mom's Music is collecting new and used instruments to donate to those that were devastated by the Kentucky tornadoes. So the music shop has been teaching more than 400 students a week, and they're going to serve as a drop-off location for donated instruments. They were a full service store, so they've got technicians that can help repair stuff and that might need a little care. And I just thought that was a wonderful thing because one, instruments are expensive. And so trying to help creatives kind of deal with some of the loss that may have occurred, it's a beautiful thing that they're doing.
It really is. I mean, helping those kids or even the adults that lost their instrument, that brass, oh my gosh, those horns, oh my gosh. So, it's a lot to think about. And that's a little a ray of hope in that effort, in that process and program.
Absolutely. All right, we're going to take another quick pause for the cause, and then we'll be back with more music industry news right after this.
Okay.
back with more music industry news. Icon.ai has a new sound mirror, all caps. So it's a smart mirror that will have what they call all the answers and your music too. So it's basically a full-size bathroom mirror. It's got the smart speaker. Say that 3 times fast. Smart speaker that is built right into the mirror, and they call it an acoustic mirror. And it's available in a circle or horseshoe shape. You can connect it to your Wi-Fi, use Alexa voice services to request music from everywhere, podcasts, whatever you want to do, check on news. And so, it's a very appealing looking thing. So I recommend you check it out. Definitely shared that. So if you're on Twitter, make sure you check that out, or their website. But cool things are happening. And just as a music lover and someone that loves things that you can listen to music through, I was excited to share that.
Hey, yeah, that was on top. It really was.
All right. And tickets for A. May's concert, so she's a Mando pop queen, sold out in 9 minutes. So according to her label, which is EMI Records, the internet traffic for the site was about 320,000 people as soon as the tickets were released at 1 p.m. on New Year's Day. So all 130,000 tickets for 12 nights in the Taipei Arena were taken within less than 10 minutes of being released.
It doesn't surprise me. It doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, so that's awesome. Congratulations to her. And sharing that, just to let you know, there's still a hunger for live shows. So, we're not really sure what the next few months or whatever are going to hold just yet. But hey, people are still interested, obviously. So if you've been thinking about doing shows, provided how things go, definitely keep that in mind. So to have tickets like that sell out in 9 minutes, people are hungry. So keep that in mind.
I got my plate with my fork and spoon right here.
Love it.
Feed me the music. Feed me.
Yes. All right. And as we were just talking earlier about acquisitions, Warner Music bought Davey Bowie's entire catalog for around $250 million, probably more. But the acquisition includes the publishing rights, as well as, all the other rights for 26 studio albums over his 6-decade career. That's a lot of work. Warner Music is about to be paid.
We got to find out. We got to find out if these artists are allowed to perform at an event, or we got to find out. We got to dig. Well,
what that is with the rights that they've been selling, it's more about them collecting the royalties. It's not that the artists don't have the ability to perform it, although, David Bowie, rest in peace. But some of these others, they can still do what they do because it's still going to earn music for the labels. So it's not like their hands are completely tied. It's just they're not going to collect. It's pretty much similar to when they originally signed on with the labels to begin with. So it's almost like going right back under another record deal, so to speak.
Okay, gotcha.
Mm-hmm. A reverse mortgage, if you will.
I see.
All right, and Eminem bought his first Bored Ape Yacht Club NFT for about $462,000. So, he's already collected 22 other NFTs, but now he's joined the other celebrities who've bought into the Bored Ape Yacht Club. So this includes Timbaland, Snoop Dogg, Future, Lil Baby, Post Malone, many, many more. Steph Curry. It's so many. I'd be naming people all day. But now he's a part of that. And, it's going to be kind of interesting to see what's going to go on with them. Because, we've mentioned before on the show that they've been working on an album with Timbaland. And so, there's more stuff musically that's going to come forth from the Bored Ape Yacht Club. So I'm sure there's no coincidence why there's so many artists that have bought into it as well.
Okay. Roll on.
Mm-hmm. And I don't know how some people feel about this. I've gotten some feedback already after sharing this on social media, but the 2022 Grammy Awards are likely to be postponed. So, the Recording Academy usually holds it in a full arena, so that way they can get more ticket revenue and other revenues that come along with doing shows, right? But if they hold it at a scaled back show like they did last year, then they're going to lose some of that. So not sure exactly how that's going to play out. They haven't officially postponed it just yet, but it's likely to come. So last year it was supposed to be in January and they had to move it back to March. And so, we'll see what happens this time. And some people are like, oh, I really enjoy watching it. But then I've heard some feedback like, oh, well, good. There's always been a lot of mixed feelings about the Grammys every year. It's always interesting to see the conversations that come forward. But they might be joining the slate of things that are either holding things with no audience, lesser audience, or just postponing it so they can get as many people in as they can.
Well, I'll be.
Yep. All right, that does it for music industry news for this week. Stick around because we're going to take a quick break and then we'll be back to close out the night.
Oh, man. Okay.
That's a wrap for this week's edition of Music Marvels with Achickwitbeatz and Breezy Gipson. Once again, I'm music producer Achickwitbeatz.
And this is Breezy Gipson.
And we're just glad that you came through to rock with us. We're excited to do it again. I mean, this is always a fun time. We enjoy ourselves and we hope that you enjoy tuning in. We're glad that you do. And please make sure that you share us with your friends as well.
Yeah, we got a special shout to the one and only Man Doug, that Man Doug, as well as D.I.J. Sparks. And so they've been doing their thing on our behalf. So shout out to them as well. So, hey.
Absolutely.
Yep.
All right. So until next time, you know where to find us. Same time, same place. Tune in, tell a friend, and we'll see you then. Peace.
Peace.